Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel, and my name is Prophetess Sybil McGill. I'm here in my kitchen. I'm here to discuss a topic that I feel that is really important, especially due to the things that has been going on within the last few months, not just with COVID-19, but with the rioters, with the protests, the looting. So I know that the stress level and the anxiety level has skyrocketed. So a lot of people are at a place where they're lost. They don't know what to do, or they don't have that support. So I wanted to make this video to share with you guys things that I have done that actually works for me. I would never share anything with you guys that I would not do. So a lot of people try to figure out, is stress and anxiety the same thing? What's the difference if they're not? So I have my notes here because I do not want to miss certain points. So I had to write it down to where I could actually physically see. So I wanted to give you guys a clear definition on stress. So stress is a feeling of emotional or physical tension. And anxiety is painful uneasiness of the mind. So honestly, stress and anxiety both have to do with your emotional and your mental. And they do go hand in hand, because stress is due to a response to a threat in a situation, while anxiety, which is worry, is a reaction or a result to stress. So when I talk about stress being the response to a threat in a situation, I can give you the perfect example: the loss of a job. That's the response to that. Is a threat to them. It's a threat. It's a very threatful situation because it leads to worry. The worry of, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to support my family? Am I going to get kicked out of my home, or lose my home, or get evicted? Or just the thought of it all could just cause a lot of emotional and mental strain on a person. So it's a really unfortunate thing to experience, but a lot of us had a form of fear or worry, just like having a sick loved one, a sick child, or a sick spouse. Just worrying of the outcome. Worrying about, are they going to make it, or how am I going to be able to sustain what we've built together if they're no longer here. Same with a marriage or a relationship that was built on you guys building together, and then the husband and the wife up and leaves, or there's infidelity, and then you're left, worrying about, how am I going to maintain? How am I going to survive? So I know this is a worldwide situation. It's something that people go through every single day. But I have 7 specific things that has helped me, especially with worry, just with constant worry. And I found myself at one point worrying a lot, and I was kind of immune to it because it was just something that I felt that should happen. And it doesn't mean that we're not going to have a sense of worry. We're human, and we have to deal with the emotional side and the human side of us. But when it gets to such a capacity where we don't have control, where it leads to unhealthy habits, or habits that are really detrimental to ourselves and to those around us. So I'm going to jump right into it. So number 1, surround yourself with positivity. And when I say surround yourself with positivity, I'm referring to people. A lot of people allow negativity in their lives because of who the person is, whether it's a significant other, whether it's a parent, a sibling, an aunt, so on and so forth. It's not healthy for you to constantly surround yourself with someone who's always negative, someone who's not uplifting you or encouraging you. It does not mean that we're not going to experience negative things in our lives. But why add on unnecessary stress or unnecessary drama when you don't have to? I always say, if I can avoid it, I will. So you can avoid it, but because you have the control on who you allow in your circle. So allowing negativity is not going to help you as a parent, as a spouse, as a person. So that's something that you really have to think about and consider. You have to put yourself first, because you're not going to be no good to anyone else. So that's something to think about. Number 2, take a walk or a drive. Something I do. I love just driving down the expressway. I've done it at night. I've done it in the morning. I've done it in midday. It's just very peaceful. It's calming. It's therapeutic. It literally, it just lets you get away. Get away from your reality of what's going on, or what you may have been dealing with, or the stresses of life. And a lot of people, especially, during the quarantine, and sometimes you could just feel claustrophobic, you could feel trapped, you just feel like you just need to get away. That's why a lot of people say, I need a vacation. It just because you may not be allowed to leave the state, leave the city, you can leave your house. Take a drive, take a walk. When you're walking, look at God's creation around you. It's a lot of times we don't just stop to smell the roses, as they say. Just look at the trees, listen to the birds chirping. I started taking walks now. There was a time, years ago, where I used to walk with my daughter, and then I stopped and got lazy, but now I'm doing it, and just looking into the trees and just looking at the birds and just, reminiscing on my childhood, sharing my childhood with my daughter, letting her know how things was when I was younger. And sometimes, you don't have to be with anyone. You can be by yourself. It's good. It's very important to enjoy your own company. You don't always have to be around people. You need that self-reflection time. You need that time just to literally stop and smell the roses, because it gives you a sense of freedom. A sense of freedom where no one is giving you advice, or no one is having any commentary of how you're feeling about something, or what you're going through, or whatever the case is. It's just you. So it's very important to take these things into consideration, because if you tried other things and it's not working for you, you can't go wrong. So number 3, listen to music. It's another therapeutic thing where it allows you to get away. It allows you to self-reflect. Sometimes it makes you think about the decisions that you have made. Sometimes it just makes you want to be a better person. And a lot of people, you got to think about the music that you're listening to. It takes me back to positivity. You can't listen to music that's talking about cutting up somebody's car or murdering a person. That takes me back to positivity, not the negative. Not the music where you're talking about killing someone, or not the music where you're talking about keying his car. Not the music that will bring out the anger and the hatred and the resentment. You're trying to do better, not worse. Trying to move up, not down. You don't want to feed that emotion. You want to surround yourself and continuously feed yourself with the good things, with the positive things. So leaves me, and then before I even get to number 4, Self-motivate. You have to motivate yourself. You have to think positive, even though you may not feel it. You may not feel like talking positive. It's not always a matter of feeling. It's just a matter of doing. You have to practice it. It's like if you want to be better at singing, you have to practice. If you want to be more fit, you have to exercise it. You have to exercise these things until it will get easier. It will get easier because you have to fake it till you make it. You have to, because you have the desire to be better, to be in a better place, to be in a better, because everything in the mind starts with a thought. And that's a powerful, powerful thing, because it leads to either the good or the bad. And you want to move towards the good. You want to be optimistic and have faith and know that, hey, I'm in that number. I'm going to succeed. Things are going to get better for me. There's a light to the end of this tunnel. There's an ending to every beginning. You got to know that, and you got to believe it. Just speak it. Motivate yourself. Don't look to no one. That's where that self-reflection comes. When sometimes you just you really gotta talk it. So number 4, you gotta face it head on. You cannot ignore what's going on. A lot of people like to run away from their reality. A lot of people like to run away from their problems, which leads to bad habits. We're talking about smoking, eating, drinking. Smoking that leads to all sorts of cancers. Drinking that leads to liver problems and alcoholism. Eating, which leads to diabetes, obesity. These are not good things. These are not good outcomes due to not dealing with your life, not dealing with your reality. Because after you eat that whole plate of food, you're going to be looking for more and more and more and more, because you don't want to deal with what's really going on. You have to deal with what's going on. You cannot run from it, because it's going to meet you. You run this way, it's going to meet you the other way. So don't self-destruct. Don't try to sweep it under the rug. Face it head on. But everybody needs help. Does not mean that, oh, you can do it on your own. No, nobody can do this on their own. Nobody can do this on your own. But you got help. I promise you do. So I am at number 5. You have to express your thoughts. Now, I'm not saying go and express to everybody, because you have people, and I know people who are such an open book. They express any and everything that's on their mind. And I always tell people, be careful with who you vent to. You cannot just, because a lot of people just crying for help. They just need somebody to hear them. And I hear you. One thing that helped me, especially growing up, with certain things that I was going through, I wrote about it. I literally had a tablet, and it was filled with just how I was feeling that day, what I was going through. And it really helps me to release, because I didn't like talking to my parents. I did not like talking to my siblings. I know I'm going to deal with it. Some people are more comfortable. Now I'm more expressive. But when I was younger, I was not, because I felt like it was a sign of weakness, and it would give people an opportunity to take advantage, because they know something. They know the vulnerable side of me, which, was fine. And there's different ways to express yourself. And that's why I say make sure you surround yourself with people that has your best interests at heart. But make sure, and make sure you're around people that actually care about you. People that want to see you win. It's not always going to be that sister. It's not always going to be that cousin. It's not always going to be that spouse. If it's a pastor, if it's your spouse, if it's your brother or your sister or that grandparent or that boss or that coworker. But just please be careful with who you vent to. That's very, very, very important. Which leads me to, I feel like I'm a little off in my numbers, but what leads me to the last point. You got to pray about it. You have to pray about it, because ultimately God has all the answers. He really does. You have to pray about it. And I've had people ask me, how do you pray? It's just hold a conversation. Just tell them how you feel. Literally. If there's no ritual to this thing, talk about it. You can talk about it while you're on your walk. That's a form of meditation. Read the Bible. You may not understand every scripture, but anything that God wants you to understand, He will allow you to understand it, especially when you have the desire. When you have a desire to do better, you're going to do what needs to be done. It doesn't mean that it's going to be an easy journey, but you're not going to be walking it alone. So pray. You can be praying while you're driving. You don't have to be on your knees. You could be praying while you're laying in the bed. You could be praying while you're in the shower, brushing your teeth. Just tell God what you need, because He knows what you need. Tell God, I feel like I'm by myself. I feel like I'm going to lose my mind. I don't know what to do. I don't have the answers. I need you to give me some guidance. I need some help on what to do. I don't know how to deal with my kids. I don't even want to deal with them myself, because you have parents that are in that space, in that position. I don't know how to deal with my husband or my wife. I have a feeling of resentment towards them, or I feel like I just want to get away, but I don't want to do the wrong thing. It's a lot of things that people are going through, a lot of things that we face. We don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't know, but God knows. And take it one step at a time. One step at a time. Don't worry about tomorrow. Focus on now. I really hope that these things help you guys, because I promise you, it will. You just have to apply it. You really, really have to apply it to your life, because I can give you the information. I can tell you what to do, how to lose that weight, how to take care of your hair, how to deal with that teenager, how to love yourself. But if you don't apply it, it's just words that fall to the ground. So to recap, step one, it's not really step one, just the first thing that I discussed was surrounding yourself with positivity, positive people. Number two, take a walk or drive. Number three, listen to some music, not the crazy music that's going to inspire you to spiral down. We're talking about good music, positive music with good messages that's going to help you, not hurt you. Number four, you gotta face it head on. Don't ignore it as if it does not exist. Number five, express your thoughts, writing it down. Number six, you gotta pray. Read your Bible, meditate. The Bible, you can get the Bible anywhere. I actually probably combine some of these into 1, 2, and 3, but I just want you guys to know these are things that I do. And I've had people ask me, what makes you mad? I've never seen you upset. It's a lot of things that I may not like, but one thing that has helped me was being honest and facing it head on and asking for help. And literally everything that I have done, it's worked, and it's still working. I let it go and I let God. And things that I'm struggling with letting go, I talk to God about it. I listen to my music. I take my drives. I take my walks. So you guys, you listen. If you really want a way out and you just want to be happy, you want that sense of peace, I promise you it will help you. You guys have a blessed day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you share this video, because our goal is to help people and just share the information. God bless.